Greetings. Apple Computer announced their earnings today. Wie geht's? Wie steht's? Noch immer auf zwei Beinen. Bonjour. Ça va? Buenos dias. I wanted to do a quick talk on Apple Computer. They announced earnings today, May 3rd, 2017. They have $250 billion in cash on hand. iPhone sales were just a little bit below expectations. So right now, everybody's wondering when Apple is going to do a substantive earnings move or simply return the cash to investors. And this is an interesting question because the problem Apple is having a challenge with is they would put the money to work if they could figure out synergies that made any kind of sense. My assessment of it is Apple won't do any kind of acquisition and will simply keep the cash on hand and start spinning it back to investors via buybacks or even special dividends. I'm fascinated by this because they sit very close to Google and Facebook and others that over the years have done acquisitions that really changed the structure of their firms. I don't think that Apple is a very conservative company, and I really think would be a better fit in New York or in the Midwest in terms of their overall philosophy, because they clearly have no clue how to do acquisitions. I'm also fascinated by Apple because the culture that they have there is a very conservative one, and that conservative culture is consistent with the fact that in the Valley, people do what's called fail fast, which means try something. If it doesn't work, sell it or get rid of it and get on to your next opportunity. Apple is a little different culture in that if you fail, you get fired. So there are a lot of people at Apple trying to make sure that they overanalyze something so that they don't get fired, and the net effect is that means that they're stuck in analysis paralysis. So I love Apple products. I think the company is great. I hope they don't go the way of Hewlett-Packard, which is to use their market capitalization as well as their cash on hand to take risks, because taking risks in Silicon Valley in order to get the business to run better is what has taken over as the norms in Silicon Valley, and Apple is fighting against the norm, and they're making so much money doing it that it's hard to argue with them. But I believe that, and I'm hoping because I like the company, that they stay strong, but I believe the recipe they have is that if you don't bet the company, you're betting for the company to go out of business. And Apple doesn't need to bet the company in terms of risks they take. They can actually stay conservative, take some risks, and not lose a lot of money doing it based on what they have. Merci beaucoup. Tschüss. Max gut. We're at the Federal Trade Commission and some artwork in front, which I'll leave you with a view of that. Have a good day.